So I was talking about the relationships. Relationships is one of the way where we can connect the data in Tableau. Before version 20, before the version 2020.2, the relationships feature was not there. So it introduces, I think in the last year only, it is a very advanced feature to connect the data source in the Tableau. So how we define the relationship? So as you all can see, I have connected my file, the Excel file, bookshop, in the Tableau, and all the fields are there here: author, award, book, checkouts, and addition, and everything is there here. So let's see one by one. So first we will try to model the data. Hello.
Sorry, Soumya, this is Jerusha.
Yeah.
Can you just go back and tell us like how you got the bookshop, please? I missed it.
No, actually, I didn't share that file with you guys. So it is the same way. I went in the Excel, and from there, I saved my file in my local. I clicked, selected that Excel sheet and open. And then this is how I got connected with my Excel file. Is that okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to define the relationship here. How I will define? First, I will choose the book and I will put it into the canvas area. So there are so many other fields are here. In order to work with all the fields, because I want to use all the fields, all the columns here, I need to connect those fields somehow. So first I'm going to use the relationships. So in the relationships, did you see next, I bring the book column into the canvas area. Then I am going to connect the author field with the book. So I also explained this in the previous session. Can you see this noodle line? So in order to connect with the book, just bring that author and keep holding with 2 fingers and just leave it. This is how we connect the data, one column to the another. One file to the another file within the same data source. So as soon as you leave that, the edit relationship dialog box will pop out. In order to create a relationship between the 2 files, there should be one common column should be there. So this relationship feature is very advanced in Tableau. As you all can see, automatically Tableau has identified one common column between these 2 files, right? So in the author ID in the book is same as the author ID in the author. So this is how they define the relationship. So I'm okay with that. So let's go with that. I want to add some more fields here. So I will take the award field, and then again you can see, because I am going to connect all these files with the book. So you can see this noodle line, and I'm going to drop this award. And again, the Tableau has identified through the relationship, this title in the book is same as the title in the award. So I'm okay with that.
Just a question. See, a bookshop is a file, right? See, yes. Author, award, book, and checkouts. Are these the fields in the file?
I'll show you. I'll show you that I'm open this in the Excel workbook. So there is a one Excel workbook. Within the Excel workbook, there are the different sheets here. As you all can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is, you can say this is a one data source, like one file. Within the file, there are the different sheets. As you all can see in my Excel workbook. Let me.
Yes, but
right?
did you share this Excel sheet with us?
No, not this one. Not this one. So okay. I'm going to use this only for the join. Later on, I will share with you all. Okay?
Sure.
Okay.
So we cannot do it right now, right? We can just
watch.
You
just watch because it's really important. So just focus, how I'm explaining. So this is the Excel sheet. So this is the one Excel sheet here. Within the Excel sheet, there are many sheets are here, right? So I need to connect all the sheets through this so that I can work upon it, right? So how I can connect those sheets? So right now I'm connected through the relationships. Okay, so this is the new feature added in the Tableau desktop in 2020.2. If you will work on the version before that, you will not find this feature relationship. This is newly added feature because this is really advanced to define the relationship between the data. So it's called the data modeling part. We are doing the modeling of the data, connecting the data. So this is one data source only. You see, this is a one Excel file only. Within the one Excel file, there are the many sheets. The name of the sheets are like given here, right? So I'm connecting my main sheet with other sheets so that I can work upon that, right? So first I have to choose the book. With the book, I'm defining the relationship with the author and the award. And in order to create the relationship, we need to have the one common column. So as you all can have seen that author has one common column, award was also having. Let's see if we don't have any common column. So we take the info part, and again, you make sure that this noodle line should be connected with the book and then only release that file. So it's got connected and it pop up. Did you see the exclamation mark here, this red color? It means Tableau is not able to identify the common field or columns. Why? Sometimes it is possible that column names are different, but inside the column names, data is same, right? But because columns names were different, Tableau was not able to identify. In order to create the relationship between them, what we can do in the added relationship box, as you can see, it's saying select the matching field to create this relationship. So I know that the book ID is same as the book ID 1 and book ID 2. But as you all can see, the column names are different, so it's not able to identify. So no problem. What we can do, we can create the calculated field here. So if we want to create the calculated field in this row, we have to choose this one. But here I want to connect this book with this field. So I have to create a relationship. So I will click on this create relationship calculation, and this calculated field box will pop up. This is a very important calculation part in the Tableau. We will see further also. So here before it was not possible. Now through the calculated field, it is possible in relationship. We can define the common field here. So as we all know that book ID 1 plus book ID 2 and apply. Okay. So here I defined as book ID 1 plus book ID 2 is equal to the book ID here. So I will choose the book ID here. And as you all saw that this exclamation mark has gone. So we help the Tableau in identify the relationship by the common field. So in case if you're not able to identify, I just took this example notebook just to explain you guys the relationship, joins and blending. So as we will move further, we will work on the more data sets, whatever is available online or in the organization you are getting. You can use these features to create the data modeling. So this is like, I'm just explaining you what are the functions and features are available in Tableau in order to create the data model. So this is one part is tab relationship. So I defined the relationship in the info. And now I want to connect this new workbook. What is that? Addition also here. So make sure it should be connected with the book. This is how all the book will be connected. Okay. So here see, you see book ID 1 in the book is equal to the addition book ID in addition workbook. So okay, done. So I want to show you that I forgot in the info. As you see here, book ID 1 MM, book ID 2 is 424. And in the book, is the book ID is all together. BB like alphabets and numbers were together. But in the info, it was giving separately in the different column, but it was same only. So that's why I use the calculated field in order to define the relationship between them. Is that clear so far? This is how I can define the relationship. For defining the relationship, we should have to have the common field. So later on, I will tell you why we should use the relationship, joins and blending. what is the best way. For so far, Tableau has introduced this feature called relationship. Is very useful because first of all, it's aggregate the data. You can say aggregate the measures. For example, if the sales is given, it's automatically aggregating the data, then only it creating the relationship. In the other side, like in the joins, first we join the data, then the aggregation will happen. So in that way, in the relationship, we can avoid the duplication. I will explain you that further to make you more clear. So before that, I would like to show you, there is an option called, so you all can see this canvas area. So this canvas area is also called the logical table. As you will hover over on the book, it is showing logical table. When you will click on this book, you can go into the physical layer. Okay. So why we need the logical layer and why we have to click and go on the physical layer? For the relationship, we can define the relationship only in the logical layer only. We don't have to go anywhere else. So in the logical layer itself, we can define the relationship. In order to create the joins, we have to go on its physical layer to define the relationship. Okay. I mean join. So right now we are working on the relationships only. So what I wanted to do, there is one more feature is called unions. So what is the use of the union? So let me explain you. As you all can see, sales of the Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. In the joins, we expand the table in the horizontal manner, and in the unions, we expand the tables in the vertical manner. For example, like we have given this Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 sales. There is no point of increasing the more columns. It's better, and in some of the tables, it's better to expand the table into the vertical way. So for example, in the sales Q1, how to create the union? Let's see. So I want to create the union with this addition table. So on the addition table, I will take this sales Q1 and I release that. So again, after the relationship got created with that. And then I'm, instead of going to the horizontal way, I will leave this Q2 into the vertical way. As you all can see, this orange box is popping up. It means I'm creating a union. And again, the symbol got changed because I'm expanding the table into the vertical way, not in the horizontal way. So some of the data is there available, like so many columns are given. Unnecessary, we are increasing the column or we have to expand in the row wise. So in that way, we use the union. But after introducing this relationship feature, everybody is using most of the time is relationship, and that too is depend on the requirement of your data, requirement of the organization, what feature you want to use in order to create the relationship. So you just get familiar with the terms relationships, unions, and union expand the table in the vertical manner. So I can go and again put the Q3 also like that. And I can go and put the Q4 sales also like that. So I wanted to see whether my union, you can hover over and you can see in the one table itself, we have Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 sales. So in order to edit that, you can go to the drop down menu and open and edit union. So you can see that how the union got created, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, like that. If you don't want to see the Q4, you can most welcome to remove that. Okay. And you can go back. If you want to add again, you can add again. So this is how we create the union. So I wanted to give one example for the joins, and then I will explain you what is the benefit of joins and relationship. So we will click on the physical layer of the logical layer of the book, because in order to create the join, we have to go on the physical layer. How to go on the physical layer? This is the logical layer, the canvas area. Just double click on that workbook and you will enter into the physical layer. So I want to create a join between the book and its author. Let's see. So here I choose the author and I'm going to create the join between the book and the author. So as I will leave that, if you're familiar with the SQL or any language, you might be familiar with the join terms. So by default, Tableau has decided the inner join. Like every book has some author, right? So what happened? So let me just first explain you all the, when you will click on this link, this circle, you will find all the joins available within the Tableau. Like there is a first one is called the inner join. Inner join is called like a Venn diagram symbol you can see, right? All the records in the right table and all the records in the left table. So a book table must have matches in the author table in order to create the inner join, right? Every book has written by some author. Like there is like one book one, author one, book two, author two, like that. So there is a inner join between them. What is the left join? If you want to, like, if you are very sure about your data, you know about your data, that how to create the join, how to create the modeling between the data, you are most welcome to edit all these things. So if you are not sure about anything, the relationship is the best way to, in order to join your files or in order to create the modeling between your tables. So next feature is like left outer join. What is this left outer join? It will include all the records from the left table and that matches any records from the author table going to be included. Like left table and any record from the author table is going to be included in the left join. This is basically a definition of all kinds of joins. Everywhere the joins are same, like in the SQL you might have heard, like inner join, left join, right join, full auto join. In order to, if you want to get clarification on the join, you can see some video. I can share some link to get you more into that. This is the inner join, like Venn diagram symbol. All the record in the right table and all the records in the left table. The common fields will be joined like here. This is the left outer join. This is the right outer join, like all the records in the right table. But only those books which matches the author table are going to be joined here, right join. And full auto join, all the records from the both the table is possible is going to match. And whatever will not match, it will return you the null values. This is not matched, so it will return you the null value. So what is the problem with the joins here? For example, there is a book, right? A book can have multiple author, right? Suppose book one written by author one and author two. So what will happen? In order to, after creating the join, book one will have one author and again book one will have the another author. So it will create more rows. It will, so what will happen? The duplication will happen with the same book name, but when the author were different, but the rows get increased because we created the join. So in order to avoid the duplication, relationships are best if you are not sure about your table or something. So we can, in order to remove the join, you can just drag and drop into this empty space and it will be removed, and just close this X mark and again you can go into the logical layer. I just wanted to explain you what is the other way to creating the joining the table. So join was one of the one is the relationship, then again another one was the joins, and one more option is there, is called blending. So what is let me give you one more example when we should join, when we can do the join. For example, like there is a worksheet 1 and worksheet 2, like we are doing right same, huh? but the data source is same, right? Data source is same, but they are different worksheet. We can create the join. This kind of data source is there. But if the data source is different, for example, you have a one data in Excel sheet, you have another data in the CSV file, or maybe in JSON file. So in that case, you won't be able to create the joins, or you won't be able to create the relationship. So what we can do in that case, the blending comes in the picture. Blending. So how we can create the blending? When we have to combine the data from two or more different data sources, such one is Oracle file, Excel file, or another one is SQL file. But again, there should be some common field should be there in order to define the relationship. It is possible that one data is an Excel file, but another data is an Oracle file or in the cloud, but data is related. So in any way, there should be some relation in order to work with all these files together. So there are three ways, like relationships, joins, and blending. In the joins, we can do the expand in when we use the unions in order to increase the file size in the vertical manner, not in the horizontal manner. So these are the some ways with which we can combine the data, or we can create the data modeling in the Tableau. So I will share this workbook with you in order to practice this the relationships and joins and blending features with so that you can get the clear idea or clear picture about that, then when to use what. So basically relationships are better because we can avoid the duplication. The duplication will not happen in the relationship. Tableau is smart enough to know automatically how to join with the common data set, common field in the workbook. If there is if you know that the columns are different, you can easily create the calculated field, and you can manually go and create the relationship. In the joins, if you are sure, you can create the joins, no problem, but you have to make sure there should be no duplication in the data. So last time when I took the classes, somebody asked me that how we verify the data and all. So that's where the ETL comes in the picture: extract, transform, and load. That ETL tool comes in the picture. So within the Excel sheet also, we can do the data cleansing and all. Inside the Tableau, we are bringing the clean data only in order to visualization. We can create the data modeling here, and in the advanced data modeling, we have to use some ETL tool. That is the very heavy tool where the data is coming in the in the big numbers or chunks, like big banks are using some ETL tool in order to define the relationship or in order to create the data modeling. This is here, I'm just using a simple small file, some 10,000 rows, and nothing much bigger than in the big banks or something like some tera data is coming. So it's such a huge file, you can't even imagine. So we have to use some special tools for that in order to cleanse the data. But inside the Tableau, when we bring the file in the Tableau, we are bringing the clean data only. So that was the answer of your question here. So here that we can move further. Here, let me open the file. So let me discuss the next topic. Here is the live mode and the extract mode. So like this is another very important topic in Tableau. What is the live mode and what is the extract mode, first of all? So live mode is like Tableau data, the live connection offers the convenience of real-time updates of the data. Any changes in the data source automatically will reflected in the Tableau. For example, if a hospital wants to monitor the incoming patient data, so like every time when a patient is coming, he wants to monitor that. Or for example, in the retail company, they want to monitor each and every second how many customers are coming. So they need the live data. They want to work upon the live data. So in that case, we have to work on the live mode. And extract mode is the opposite of the live data. What do you mean by opposite of the live data? like we are creating the extract of the data. So let me explain you here. So again, I'm going to create with a sample superstore file, which I have shared with you all. So if you like, you all can use that file. You are most welcome. So it is an Excel file. So that's why I'm creating on the Excel option here. Just double click wherever your file is saved. Just select that file and bring that file into the Tableau to work upon that file. So as you all can see, in order to move forward, you have to select one field from that file and drag into the canvas area. Very simple. By default is always a live connection in the Tableau. So when to use the extract mode? Again, I can give you one more example. The extract mode is the snapshot of the original data. Like we are saving the file locally in my Tableau repository in order to work with that data where the internet connection is not there. For example, I'm going to board a flight. There is no internet connection over there, but I have to work upon some data in order to create the visualization on Tableau. So what I will do, I will save that file in my local, and then I can start building the visualization. But what I want to bring the, I want my file to get refreshed along with the data. So there is an option in the extract mode. We can refresh our data easily in order to bring the real-time data into our visualization. It will be, after refreshing, it will be automatically bring the data into the Tableau. So after saving, choosing the extract mode, after choosing the extract mode, you can save that local copy of the data into your system. You can work upon with that data. You can create the visualization. But if you want choose the refresh option in order to bring the new files or new rows, added rows into the visualization. And the live data, you are actually directly connected with the data source. So what is the benefit with the live connection and the extract connection? In the live connection, processing speed depends upon the size of the data source actually. If the data source is really big and heavy, so the speed will be very slow. In other hand, the extract mode, the processing speed will be really good because you have the local copy of the data in your system and you actually have the whole data with you. You can work upon it. And how we will refresh the data in the extract mode? In the live mode, it's very simple. Like it's a live connection, no need to refresh, right? Live data is coming, it's automatically updating. In the extract mode, there are two options like incremental refresh and the full refresh. So what is the incremental refresh? Incremental refresh means if in case there are some rows added into our data, so we can just, for example, if we are working in an office and some rows added in our data, we are going for a coffee break for a 15 minutes or 10 minutes. So we can just click on the incremental refresh within a 10 minutes or 15 minutes, or maybe within a, depend on the size of the data, our data will be refreshed and the new added data will be bring into our visualization. And there is one more option called full refresh. Like full data will be get updated. So like, for example, it's a default type. Like if you will choose the full refresh, like if you have to see the time in that. Like for example, like you can select the option full refresh and the next day you will be having the whole refresh data with you. So depend on the timings only. The incremental refresh just bring added the rows and get updated. Any changes made existing rows do not will happen. It will bring into the picture. So there are two options, incremental refresh and full refresh. So that is actually Tableau admin part. So within the Tableau desktop, we don't have to use that. It's an admin part there, but there are two things are here, live connection and extract connection here. So with then, when I will move with the filter, I will show you more about this live connection and the extract connection. And let's see here. As you all can see my data Excel file here. For example, I don't want to use this order ID, order date, ship mode. So just press Control in the Windows and press Command on the MacBook and select this field and right click and just put hide. So like I just wanted to work upon this data. So within that data source, I can filter my data in that way. Like I just want that some particular fields only in order to work upon with, right? So I just hide the data. So for example, sometimes that happen that we don't know that we hide some data, but later on we want to work upon it. So it's better to just click on this option. So it will be grayed out. So we know that we hidden that data. That's why it's not fully visible. But now later on, if you want to work upon it, just right click and unhide, right click and unhide, or just press Control and select all like that. If you want to rename your data, you can always rename the data, column with the option called rename here, right? And we already talk about the data types here, like the geographic field means the state, like country and region is represented with this globe, and this ABC the integer, and like string, sorry, and the date field, it's defined with this icon called calendar icon, like that. These are the data fields. And there is one more option called, like for example, you can see in the order ID like CA-2019 and some number. So when you will right click and you will click that option like split. So what the split will do, split will see it splitted the first part, then the middle part, and the final part into the 3 different columns, right? So in order to split, it's totally depends how you want to work upon the data and how you want the data to be look like. So these are the options available over here. You can use those options, and you can undo that options always here. And we can always create the calculated fields over here if you want to, like okay, let's not go into that. We will move into that later. So no, I don't want to make you confused here. So my next topic will be different types of filters. This is really very important. As you all know that we have already discussed about the filter in our last session. So I will go deep dive into that filter part, and one by one, I will explain you each and every topics under the filter shelf. Okay, what will happen when you will click on the filter shelf? So let me just open it. So you all can work with me here. Just go on the sheet number 1. So there are 2. This is not the type of the filter. This is just a filter, like internal filter or external filter. And after that, I will talk about that types of the filter. Okay. So what is internal filter? On that day, we already just work like put the sales into the column shelf, and you can choose any field, and the segment into the row shelf. So internal filter is when you using a field which is a part of your visualization and you apply a filter on it. It's called the internal filter. So what I will do, I want to apply the filter on the segment. So I will take this segment and I put it into the filter shelf, and this, so I wanted to just, it says you can choose whatever field you want to see or not, apply. So I just wanted to see the home office data. So I just uncheck this 2 other field, apply, and okay. So this is the part of our visualization, right? And we applied the filter upon it. It's called the internal filter. And another filter is called the external filter, is the other way around. Like we applied a filter on a field which is not a part of the visualization. We can call it as an external filter. Like what is the part of the visualization here? Sales and segment. We can see the segment wise sales, right? What if I want to bring the region into that? But I put the region into the filter, select all, apply, okay. So what is happening here? this is the part of the, like I applied a filter on a field which is not a part of the visualization, right? I didn't put that region field here, right? But still there's a filter apply on this. I'll show you when you will do the show filter. As you all can see right now, all the fields are checked. So it's showing the segment wise sale in the all the regions, right? If I'll uncheck one, I just only wanted to see the West. So it's showing me the sales, segment wise sales in the West region only. But I didn't use this region field in the column shelf or the row shelf. So it is not a part of our visualization, but our sales is getting affected according to the regions we are selecting. So this is just internal and external. These are just our terms only. So there are some 5 main kind of filters over here: extract filter, data source filter, dimension filter, measure filter, and context filter. I will go through the one by one every filter. If you want to note down, you can note down, or I can share the links or maybe the files or my notes with you later on for the later use. So no matter which filter we are applying, Tableau has a specific, you can see, order in to apply this filter. We have to, for example, we apply the data source filter first, right? Then later on we applied the extract filter. Doesn't matter. Tableau has a specific steps. They follow the specific steps. Like Tableau will take the extract filter first, then only the data source filter first. We will see this with an example, then what I'm talking about here. So first, let's discuss only the data source filter. What is a data source filter? So when you will go in the file, in the data source itself, this is called the data source, right? So within the data source, when we are applying some filter, it's called the data source filter. It can be applied on the live mode. It can be applied on the extract mode, doesn't matter. So it's called the data source filter. Okay, it's a post condition filter. This is the keyword, like post condition filter. Post means later, but separately if you want to apply, we can apply on the live connection or the extract connection, both. For how we will apply the data source filter, we are on the data source page, right? And there is a filter called here. Then we will click on the add button, right? The added data source filter window will pop up. We are applying the data source filter on the data source itself, because we are filtering the data here only in order to work upon that particular data only. How? Click on the add button, and then I want to choose region. For example, regions. Okay. I want only to work upon only the, for example, I'm the central region manager. So I just wanted to work upon the central region only. So I'm telling Tableau to show me only the central region related data. So I just click on the central. Okay. Okay. So what happened? As you all can see here, I can only see the central region data. No other region is showing me here. So go on the sheet, clear the sheet with the X marks here, clear sheet. And when you will drop this region here, you will see we can only see the central region data, right? From in the data source itself, we apply that filter. That's why it's called the data source filter, right? So as the name suggests, data source filter, we can do in the live mode, wherever your data might be, only at the data source level. Okay, so it's very easy with the live mode, but what will happen on the extract mode? So let's go back first. Let's okay. So do you remember, just remember some steps, like I apply the data source filter. In the data source filter, I apply the filter on the region. In the region, only I can see the central region data, right guys? Are you all with me?
Yes.
So this is the way
Yes.
how we can narrowing down our data in the data source page itself. So this is very important. Why? Because we are getting the data from, and data is very messy or most of the time. But after cleansing also, there are some unnecessary columns are also there, which we don't want to work upon it. There are so many unnecessary field also, which we don't want to work upon it, but that is the part of the data. So here itself only we can reducing the columns so that in the sheets, our data pane, it won't be very congested, or inside the data, there won't be much value will be there. So there is no point of getting confused. We can get focused on whatever data we want to work upon it. So it was very easy with the live connection. Let's go on the extract mode. When I will click on the extract mode, is a precondition filter. This is the keyword like precondition filter. What is the precondition filter means? Apply before the extract creation. Like I just choose the extract mode. I go on the edit pane here. And it is saying that you already applied a data source filter on the region. If you want to keep this, you can keep that. But I don't want to keep that. So you can select and you can remove that. And you can choose in whatever column or whatever field you want to apply the extract filter. So add. So I want to apply this filter on the category. I want to see only the technology related data, only technology related data. Choose the technology, select OK, and then OK. And here in the category field, you can only see the OK. So what happened now? You all remember that I create the extract and I edit. I choose the technology related data. But what will happen when I will go on the sheet? It will ask me to save that file. You remember the extract, in the extract mode, we used to save that copy into our local, right, guys? So we have to save this. Tableau is asking me, before moving forward, you have to save that extract. So where we will save that extract? Whenever we download your this application, Tableau desktop or Tableau public, there will be a file called My Tableau repository. You can find, or you can search in the search button. Under the My Tableau repository, save this file. Then save. And I will show you, before move forward, what is there inside that file. So where is that file I want to see? Wait. I just wanted to see what got saved inside that extract mode. So I'm just opening that in the Tableau desktop because I also have the public one. So when I will open that file, let me see it's a correct file or not. No, this is not the correct file. So bear with me, guys, please. Documents. Yeah. Here in the documents, in the Tableau repository, this is, yeah, My Tableau repository. Under the My Tableau repository, I save that file. I will open that file and I wanted to see what is. So, do you remember that I have applied a data source filter in the central region, and then I applied the extract filter on the technology, right? So what will my local copy will have? central region data, technology data with all regions, or central and the technology related data. Do you remember I told you that Tableau has a specific order in order to apply the filter? First, no matter whether you apply the data source filter first. So I applied the data source filter first on the central region data. Then later I applied the extract filter on the technology. So what do you think? It will show me the all the regions, or it will only show me the central region data? What do you think, guys? So data source filter is a post condition filter. Extract filter is a pre-condition filter. So always the extract filter will be applied first, no matter in the data source filter, whatever we have done. So as you all can see in the region wise, all the data will be showing here, right? So when the data source filter will be applicable here, when we go on the sheet and when we will start work upon the region here, wait, in this file. It will only show me the central region data. So first we have done the extract filter. Then I save the local copy into my Tableau repository. And then but in that file itself, it will show me all the regions data, because that data source filter is not applied yet. When the data source filter will apply, when I will go on the sheet, the second filter will be applied, and that is called the data source filter. So in the region, when I will bring the region into the picture in the rows column, only I can see the central region data, because I apply both the filters. When I apply separately, doesn't matter. It will be showing me in the live mode. In the live mode, I can do the data source filter easily. You can see here, there is a one field on that I've applied my data source filter. And there is another field, this is an extract. I created the extract. So this will be applied first, and this will be applied second. But if I'm not creating any extract, easily the data source filter will be applicable on the live connection. For the extract connection, only extract filter will work. Okay, so save your local copy into the Tableau repository before creating the extract, right? Edit dialog box, whatever field you want to choose, you want to look into that field, just choose accordingly. You can choose the multiple fields also. So this is the types of the filter we can apply on the data source level. This is the extract filter. On the data source filter, when we have to apply the data source filter, we can use the live connection. If you want to use the extract connection, we have to use the extract filter. So these are the two types of filter here. And then comes the dimension filter. Dimension filter, we have already worked upon that on that day itself. It's very easy, nothing much. These filters were little confusing, but as you will move forward, you will work every day. This is like a normal and general step, like we have to follow most of the time, right? So there is nothing to worry about. Just get familiar with the term extract mode, live mode. Live mode, we can work upon the live data, and no need to get refreshed because we are working upon the live data. The files get connected file get refreshed automatically. In the extract mode, we save the local copy of the file into our we save the snapshot of the file into our local, so that we can work upon that data, and then we can refresh the data by choosing the incremental refresh and the full refresh, right? And for creating the refresh, we need to have the internet connection, or the connection with the internet connection we need, so that the new snapshot of the data can bring into the file in order to work upon that, right? So let me give you an example. If you're working in an organization, right? So within the organization, if you remember, I talk about the Tableau server. Tableau server is a part where we can share the files on premises. Like there is one person called Soumya and another person called Shushma. If we want to share the file within ourselves, we can share with the like Tableau server option and on premises option, and that's how we can share the file. and we can save the file in the extract mode. And we are working upon the data because we are traveling. For example, if we are traveling or whatever reason it is, that we have to work upon with the extract mode. And another reason we using the extract mode because the speed is faster, remember. And if you want to bring upon the updated rows, you can always apply the refresh in order to bring the updated data. And if you're working upon the live data, it depends on the condition, it depends on the requirement. What is your requirement? You can work upon the live data also, right? So let's move further in the dimension filter, right? So if you all remember, when we work upon the filter, like here, let's select the sales. You all can follow along with me here. Like put the sales field in the row and subcategory into the column. Doesn't matter whichever way we can swap always. If you don't like that, like we can do that, swap. You remember these features? This is swap. Just a minute. So if you remember that that day the filter page was missing, like by accidentally we just crossed it and it got removed. So here is one shortcut also by which we can bring our shelves into the picture again. Like just click. Right now all the boxes are checked because all the pages are available here. In case if anything is missing, there is a one shortcut here. You can always click on that and you can bring that back into the canvas area. So, and this is the swap field, like swapping the rows into column and column into rows, vertical or horizontal manner. So let's work upon the filter, dimension filter. As the name suggests, this is called the dimension and this is called the measures. Dimension are the qualitative data and measures are the quantitative data, right? This is discrete in nature. This is continuous in nature. So these are the dimensions like city, region, name ID, and these are the measures: profit, sales, quantity. Dimensions are represented with this blue pill. Measures are represented with the green pill, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply my dimension filter. I put the sales into my column and subcategory into my rows. And I'm going to put the subcategory into the filter shelf. You can do like this. You can choose the subcategory from the data source, data pane itself, or you can choose the just press the control in your Windows or command onto your MacBook and just make a copy of it. And again, you can see this dialog box will pop up, right? All are with me. If you want to work upon with me, you can do it that. Are you all with me?
Yes.
So here are so many options are here, like wildcard, condition filter, top filter, and this is not highlighted, it's a journal filter, right? And here are some buttons here, select from the list, custom value list, use all. So if you want to, what is the filter? Filter is narrowing down the data in order to work upon with the relevant data only. So how you will narrow down the data? Like it's totally depend on the choice, right? So like select from the list. If you want to just uncheck, just do none. If you want click on the all the value will be selected. And if you want to select some particular subcategory, just choose the label, furnishing, fastener, whatever you want to work upon with, right? This is called the select from the list option. And what is the custom value list? Let's see that. Custom value list, enter text to search or add. Like if you want to work upon the art, you can add those and you just create the filter upon that. Like you can custom the list according to your own wish. You want to work upon that, right? So clear the list here. And what is the use all option? By default is the use all option. If you're not doing any filter option, so by default is the use all option, right guys? Okay. So This is all about the general tab. Let's go on the wildcard tab. Wildcard means like contains option like the values which are containing A, B, like table and labels. I want to work upon that data only, right? So it contains with. So you can give the strings, substrings of the data, and that Tableau itself will filter the data accordingly. Like what we are doing, there are different options here to select. Like there, right now we are working upon a very small set of data. As I'm all keep on saying that data is available in such a huge number. In that time, these filters are really useful for narrowing down the data to work upon the relevant data. Like if you know that the fields contain this, and the another option starts with what? Start with the P. Is a non-case sensitive, so you will brought the values which starts with the P, like paper, phones, and all, right? So this is the option starts with. Ends with, if ends with ES, let's say ES, so it will brought inside the worksheet that ends with the ES. Exactly match, this is the case sensitive because it's saying exactly matching, like TABLE. It will not bring the table. Let's apply. Why? Because it was not table, it was tables. So you have to be exactly matching with that, right? So what is, let's move forward into the next one, condition tab. Sorry. So here is the one more option here, condition tab. What is the condition tab? Like right now I didn't define any condition. That's why this button is highlighted none. By field, I can define the condition. Like I wanted to see the subcategory which have the sales greater than, you can choose any symbol like greater than, less than, according to your own choice. I want to see the subcategory which has the value greater than, let's say 50,000 or whatever value you want to check. So how we will see the minimum and the maximum? If you're not sure like what is the minimum value and what the maximum value, just click on this load button. So like the minimum value is here 3024 and maximum is 330,000, like that. So you can choose the range between them, or you can choose the exactly range according to you. So I just choose the 50,000. So it will show me the subcategory which are having the sales greater than 50,000. Okay. So we can use this by field, or we can use by formula also if you like. So by formula is the same condition can be applied by the formula, like sum of sales greater than 50,000. How? Sum of sales greater than 50,000. You can give any condition, whatever you like to see your data. Right? So same thing will be happen as the by field, right? Again, one more last filter in the dimension, because I'm putting the dimension field into the filter. That's why it's called the dimension filter. We see the wildcard, we see the condition, we see the top. This is the very useful filter, like top what? Like, let me change this little bit. If you get bored with this subcategory, let's bring the customer name. I want to see my top 10 customer. Top 10 customer. Let's see here. Segment wise. Okay. So let's see the customer wise data. What I will do, I will put this customer name into this here. Here. So top tab, by field, I want to see my top 10 customer with the sum of sales, right? So like, which is giving me the highest sale, like top 10, or you can say top 5, or what will happen, it will only show me the top 5, or whatever number you will choose here, they will only show me that number only. See, I can see the top 5 customer right now. So let me just close this so that I can put it in the descending order. So what happened before applying the filter, if I'm putting on the descending order, I see all the customer list, right? So after applying the filter, it narrowing down the data and showing me only the relevant value, right? So that I won't get confused. I'm only seeing my top 5 customers over here. So this is what the top tab is all about. So how to go back to the filter again? Edit filter, right click on the filter, then go on the edit filter. As you can see that filter dialog box again. So this was all about the dimension filter. And let's talk about the measure filter. Measure filter, as the name suggests, these are the measures. We are applying this filter on the measures only. So this is called the measure filter. So how to use that? When you drag and drop into the shelf, it's called the measure filter. Let's see, let's put the sales into the filter. Before that, put the sales into the columns and subcategory into the rows. You all are with me? Is that okay? You are able to understand? If you're not able to understand that, that's completely fine actually. So what you all can do, you can just go back and you just keep playing with this filter shelf, put any dimension in the filter field and just see what is, because what happened, when we put this shelf or any dimension into the filter shelf or any measure into the filter shelf, without closing the dialog box, we can see what changes are happening if we are doing anything here, right? Whatever options we are choosing, just instead of selecting OK, just click on the apply and see what changes are happening, if I'm doing any changes here, right? So it's very easy, just only the matter of time or practice, just do 1 or 2 times and you will be like used to of this. And these are the things which are very features are very useful, and we are often using these features, measure and dimension and filters. So it's nothing to worry about, because when we are using some feature and functionality again and again and again, it's getting more clear, right? So this is about the measure filter. We discussed the data source filter, extract filter, dimension filter. Now next is measure filter. As the name suggests, we have to put the measure into the filter shelf. So for example, I put the subcategory by sales. Now I'm putting the sales into the filter. Okay, this is not the dimension. As you all can see, this is the green pill, right? Let's see what will happen. Again, a dialog box appeared. So you want to see the average of sales, count, whatever you want to choose. I want to go with the sum of sales right now. Choose the sum of sales. Next. So this dialog box has appeared. So you remember what was the range before? It's automatically giving that range. Like this was the lowest and this was the highest, right? Again, you can choose the range. This is the range of the value. So it's showing me all. If you go on the next option, at least. So at least, like you can click on that box and you can choose sale at least 50,000. Show me that subcategories. See, apply. So all these fields are having at least this amount of sales, right? So we can either write down the value, or we can just use this slider, whatever we like, right? Both the options are there. So this is the at least, and at most. At most is like you decide the value of subcategory lesser than the particular value. It's going to be brought inside your worksheet. What should be the highest value? Just like opposite of least. Special means like if you want to see the null values in your sales, non-null values or all values. So right now, I don't think so we have any null values, but in case if you want to find out like what is the, why there will be a null value. For example, a customer is doing the purchase, but there was some discount because of the discount, the price was 0. So it will be null only. So in that case, like if you want to see, so that is the just an option. I just wanted to introduce all the options in case if you go and practice and see all this option, you just get little bit familiar with those, right? So this was all about the filters. So if you all are okay, I can move forward, or this session is looking very heavy to you or overwhelming. Just please let me know. Are you all able to understand, or at least about the filters?
Yes, Swamiji, thank you.
Yes, okay. So there was one more filter, it's called context filter. But before that, I will take that context filter maybe later, because that is more in detail. So I will take this one more important feature in Tableau. It's called parameters. We are using that parameters a lot. What is the parameter means? So here, everybody, I want your focus here. Just listen to me. So as a Tableau developer, till now, I am deciding everything. I want to see my top 10 customer. I want to see the top 5 customer. I'm deciding the sales value should be this 50,000. I'm deciding this. I want to see the customer who made the sales more than 1 lakh, right? So these, what if I allowing my customer to decide the value instead of me? In that, if you want to make that dynamic constant value into the dynamic value, we have to use the parameters, right? We can use the parameters in the filters. We can use the parameter in the sets. We can use the parameter into the bins. We can use the parameter into our calculated fields. So this is the most useful feature, and we are using this feature a lot. So before explaining you the parameters, let me tell you a little bit about this. What are the sets and what are the bins? Okay, so sets are like we are using it for the presentation purpose most of the time. So there are 3 types of sets, like constant set, computed set, and the combined set. So let's see one by one all the sets. Like what are the constant set? Constant sets are like we are manually creating the sets. How we are manually creating the sets? Let's see. Let's put the profit into the column, and category into the rows, and just put in segment into the rows along with the regions, right? So these are the visualization I want to do. I want to create the constant set. What are the constant set? Is the manually created sets. Like most of the time we are using the sets if we have to give the presentation or we have to explain something. So we use this constant set, like how I tell you the example. I took this field, how I will choose it manually. Click on the control or the command according to your Windows or Mac, and just choose this fields. See, I'm dragging and drop. So these fields I've choose, keep pressing the command and just go on some field. Immediately this rings will be, tooltip will be appear. In the tooltip, you can see the 2 rings around that, right? Click on the rings and create set option is there. So create set, whatever field I have choose manually, I can create the set into that and just see what will happen. So I just name it my constant set. Okay, so whatever members are in this set, I have choose the members manually. I will say okay. And here my constant set got created. And what I will do, I will put this constant set into the color marks card. And what happened immediately? The member, those who are satisfying my condition it's like inside that set, and those who are not satisfying my condition is outside that set. So it's always like that, in and out mode. The sets are always like that, in the in and out mode. So in the constant set, I choose the value manually. Okay. So what is the disadvantage of that? I will explain you the computed set, and then I will tell you the differentiation between both the sets. Let me create the computed set one more time. Like computed set, it's created under one dimension only. And let's see, I will take the sales and I will take a subcategory wise sales, right? And I want to create the set on the subcategory. So either I can go here or I can go here on the subcategory in the data pane, right click, create set. Go on the subcategory, because I want to create the set upon the subcategory and then create the set. And then here I can choose the, like all the function, like the filter option, you remember all the options are appeared here. So either I can go with the condition, I can choose with the general, like I can choose manually here, or can use the top function here. So I want to define one condition here. I want to give the name of the set here, computed set. And I want to define the set by field, like sum of sales is greater than 1 lakh. I want to see those subcategories whose are the subcategories which are making the sales more than 1 lakh. Okay, I want those category into my sets, and rest of the category outside my set. Okay, let's say okay. And let's put this computed set into the color marks card, and let's put it in the descending order. So you remember I put the 1 lakh, greater than 1 lakh. So see, so lesser than 1 lakh is outside my set because I didn't put this category into my visualization, right? So set is always like that, in and out. It's always like that, and we are using the sets for the presentation purpose. What is the advantage of the computed set? Because it's not created manually. We give some conditions, and it's a condition because the sales should be greater than 1 lakh. Then only it should be inside the set. So what in the future, after 1 month, the furnishing sales got increased and it reaches to the 1 lakh, more than 1 lakh. So it will automatically will update, and it will show it to me the blue inside the set. So that is the advantage of the computed set. So in the constant set we create manually. The computed set we create with some condition, and based on that condition, if that condition is satisfying, it will be inside the set, otherwise it will be the outside the set. And the advantage of the constant set, computed set, is if the value will be updated in the future, like increasing and decreasing, it will be automatically get updated. So let's go on the third type of sets. We are using these sets a lot. It's called the combined set. What is the combined set? Only three type of sets are there, like constant set, computed set, and combined sets. So what is the combined set? It's a combination of both. Like it can be created under the same dimension. It can be the two computed set, both the computed set, both the constant set, or one computed or one constant set. Doesn't matter. So it the same dimension can be combined. So for example, if I take the sales and subcategory, same dimension, right? So what I want to create the set, create set top. I want the top 5. So what is the advantage of the combined set? That right now I can only put one field at a time, like top 10 sales. So I can create one more set and I can combine those set, like one field I can create like top 10 subcategory with the sum of sales, and I can create one more set, top 10 category with the sum of profit. And then I can combine those set and it will show me the value according to my set. Like I can put that combined set into the color area and it will show me the top 10 sales with the top 10 profit values into my set. So how I will see that? I create the top 5 category with the sum of sales. Like let me give the name as a combined set. Here I click on the top tab, top 5 by the sum of sales. Okay, it's a combined set. Okay. And let me give it a name here. Let me change the name. Top 5. Top 5. And let me create one more set on the subcategory. Set. With the top function only, I want to see the bottom 5 sales. Like I have to make one sale like top 5. I want to see the bottom. I click on this top tab here and go by field radio button, then choose the bottom 5 subcategory with the sum of sales. Okay. Wait. Let me give the name here. Bottom 5. And then click on OK. So I have two sets, like one is bottom 5, another one is top 5, right? So how I can visualize this into this my canvas area? So it is not possible because I can see the bottom 5 or either I can see the top 5 here. So if I want to see both the category in the same time, so here comes the combined set feature. Go on any one category like top 5 on the bottom 5, right click on that. And here is called the create the combined set option. Click on that combined set option because I want to combine this, whatever set you want to combine, you have to go either one of the set and just combine, right click, create combined set. And I can give the name here, combined set. So bottom 5, I want to combine the bottom 5 with the top 5. And here are some radio buttons. So right now I want to choose the full auto join only. The by default, the Tableau is choosing, and click on OK. And I want to put this combined set into the grayed out. So I can see the top 5 categories, subcategories, and I can see the bottom 5 subcategories, right? And these categories are not into the picture because I choose the top 5 or the bottom 5, right? This is how I can show the two fields or two conditions in one time, in a one visualization, like top 5 on the bottom 5. So this is basically for the presentation purpose. Most of the time we are using where we want to compare these kind of situations. And there is one more type of example, like what about the top 10 customer and top 20 customers, right? Now, if you want to see the top 11 to 20 customer, then in that type of situation, we can choose this option. So if you like, I can show that how to do that, or we can move forward otherwise. So, but you understand what is the uses of set, right? Set basically we are using for the presentation purpose, and it's created on the based on the dimension, and subset of our data is linked to a particular condition, like whatever condition we want to give. So there are the 3 type of sets, like constant set, computed set, and combined sets. Okay. So, and let's go to the parameter now. What are the parameters? As I already said, instead of deciding as a Tableau developer what I wanted to show to my customer, I want to allowing my customer to decide the value by himself. Okay. So I want to use that. First of all, I want to show what are the parameters are. So here, just remember the definitions. Parameter replacing the constant value into the dynamic value that replace the constant value. So parameters will filter. As a developer, I want let the user decide what the value should be there. For example, in the filter dialog box, I want to put the sales, and wait. I want to put the sales into the column and subcategory into this rows, and I want to put the sales into the filter dialog box, and the top tab will appear. Where is that top? Here. Just a minute, guys. Sorry. The subcategory I want to put on the filter dialog box, and the top tab I will select. And by field, if you remember, I have choose the top 10 category with the sum of sales, right? Instead of I decide I want to see the top 10 category, I let the user decide how much number he wants to see. So what I will do, I will create a parameter. How I will create the parameter? Click on the top tab, put the subcategory into the filter shell, because we are creating the parameters with filters. Create the field into the filter. The dialog box will appear. Then click on the top tab. Then go on the by field top and click on the drop down menu. Create a new parameter. So I want to create a parameter. That's how the parameter dialog box will appear. How? Again, I will show you. Go on the top field, by field. You remember, as a developer, I wanted to show the top 10 subcategory with the sum of sale. But here, I want to allowing my customer to choose the number according to his choice. So I'm making my filter dynamic. How I will make it? Top, like create a new parameter. The parameter dialog box will appear. So here I can give that number is a top n. N is it can be any number, right? And I can choose the minimum one or at least one subcategory be shown. Maximum I can choose the 20. And I will discuss this fields later. So right now I'm using the range option. By default is there, range option. Minimum one subcategory should be there, or maximum 20 subcategory. So because I want that, I will show you. Okay, click on OK. So you can see on the data pane, a parameter fields have appeared now because I created a parameter on the filter. So whenever we create a parameter, it will be showing under under the parameter column. So it will be created automatically by the Tableau when we work on the parameters. So right click on this, show parameter, and now like top one. Now as a customer, I want to see my top 3 category with the sum of sale. Now top 5, top 8. I made the filter dynamic. So as a user, I can decide according to my choice. Before creating the parameter, you remember, we won't be able to change the value. It was constant. Now with the help of the parameter, I made my values dynamic so that I'm allowing the users to decide the values according to his own choice. Like I can see my top 2 category with the sum of sales, like top 6 categories, like top 17 categories. I think total are 17 here only, and top 14. So you all understand this? Are you able to do this parameter with the filters? Because I put the subcategory into the filter row, so I'm using the parameters with the filters. We can create the filter parameters on the bins also, on the sets also. Right now we created the set, remember, on the sets also, and we can put the parameters into the calculated fields also. So we can make each and every option dynamic with the help of the parameter. So one option we saw with parameter with the filters. So you all are clear with that. So we can move forward if you like. So let's go on the parameter with the sets, as we already discussed with the sets. So I will take one example how to make the sets dynamic. So for example, let's take the sales into the column shelf and subcategory into the row. And I want to go on the subcategory, create set. So in the subcategory create set, so go on the top option. Again by field, I'm creating the parameter for the sets, right? So top, create new. I want to create the set with the help of that parameter. So I went on the top shelf again. I will go again one more time for you. Go on the subcategory, right click, create set, because I'm going to create the parameter on the set. So go on the set, go on the top shelf by field, top 10 by sum of sales. Instead, I let the user decide what number should be there inside my bin, what value should be there in and out of my sets. So you remember we created the top n parameter. Either we can choose the top n because we already created that parameter, or if you like, you can make the new also. Right now I wanted to go with the top n and click OK. N is it can be any number, right? So this said, I want to put in my color marks card and I want to show the parameter. So color marks card here and just a minute. Yeah. It's not working here. Why? Create top 5. So, okay, this was the one. I didn't change the name. I guess that's why it got confused. So this is how I make my sets dynamic. Did you see? Before that, I decided, see, go back here. I decided it was the value was constant. I won't be able to change the value here. It is fixed, right? So whatever value I have decided inside my set, it is showing. But here, as I put my set into the parameter, here I can decide the value, what should be inside the subcategory or what should be outside my subcategory. Like top 9 subcategory with the sum of sales, like who is satisfying my condition is inside, or which is not, it's outside the sets. This is how we create the parameters on the sets. And the one last thing and the most useful is like a parameter in the calculations. So I will again explain this field with an example. So parameter with the calculation, let's focus here and just, this is the last topic here, and then I will wrap up this. So how to create the parameter in the calculation? If you, let's take one condition here. We are planning to color my bars, charts using 2 colors. One is the high sales subcategory and second is the low sales subcategory. So how I can do that? I will take my sales into the columns. In the starting, this will look little confusing actually, but as you will keep, because these parameters we are using every day. So as we keep using again and again, it will be like a habit, or we will be like getting more clear idea about this parameters or filters or sets, whatever we have used so far. So I put my subcategory into the rows and column into the sales, and I put the descending order. So I will create one calculated field. Till now, I didn't use the calculated field. So this is how we bring the calculated fields. There is a one drop down menu here. Just click on that, create calculated field. And we just creating the calculated field high versus low sales. Okay. So what will be my condition? If sum of sales is greater than 1 lakh, 2, 3, 1 lakh, then I will put it into the columns like high. It will be marked as a high sales, and there is a always if and else function. So if it's satisfying my condition, its sales is greater than 1 lakh, it should be marked as high sales, or else low sales. And end. So if there is anything wrong with that, it will show the error here. For example, if I'll not put the end here, it will show the calculation contains error. And again, the calculated field also you will know with the help of like keep on doing practice, and every time which calculation we are supposed to use. Apply. Okay. So here in the measure field, as you can see, we created one calculated field, high and low sales. And I want to put this high and low sales into the color marks card. As you all can see, the sales greater than 1 lakh is the high sales, and less than 1 lakh is defining as the low sales. So what I want the customer decide the value. Now remember, the 1 lakh I have decided as a developer. I want the customer dynamically decide the value. So how we will do? With the help of the parameter. How? We are replacing the constant value 1 lakh by the parameter. The user let them decide. This is the final topic. And after that, I will close. So just focus here. Step 1, create a parameter dialog box. Create parameter. I am creating one parameter here, sales limit. I'm just giving it a sales limit, and by default is the float. So I want that integer data type, current value, rest of the value is fine. And I want the range. So because I want the slider, I want the user to decide with the slider. So I want the range. There's an option called list or all, but I want the range. Let's go with the range where I will give the minimum value, maximum value. The minimum value is 1,000, 1, 2, 3, and maximum value is 4 lakh, because we already know the maximum and the minimum value of my sales. And the step size, the difference between the slider, like on the gap of 1,000. Click on OK. And this is the sales limit. Right click, show parameter. See, but this parameter right now is not working. Why? So there is no point of only creating a parameter. You remember we created one calculated field here. So we have to use this parameter within the calculation so that my condition gets satisfied and I can make my parameter dynamic. So parameters with calculation, that's why it's called the parameters in calculation. We are combining the calculation with the parameter. We are giving the calculation like high and low sales here. Edit. If you want to see your calculated field, right click and go on right click and click on edit. And here, see, I give the constant value here, right? So what I will do, instead of this 1 lakh, I want to put this sales limit here. I created the sales limit. So I will, okay, let me just drag and drop here. Sales limit here if you will put the sales limit, it will automatically will pop up because we have already created that field. If you just type SALES, it will start showing you. I will show you one more time, like SA. So it's showing, let me choose that parameter. So apply, okay. Okay, so parameter is already showing. Let's see if it is working or not. So this is working now. So instead of sales more than 1 lakh, should be high sale or low sales, I'm deciding dynamically with the help of this parameter. Like if the sales is greater than 45,000, it should be the high sales, else should be the low sales, right? If the sales is, you remember we selected the step size. What is the step size? Right, this we can see the step size with the help of this, like 46,000, now 47,000. This is the step size. This is up to you totally, whatever step size you want to keep. So this is like 1,06,000, right? Whatever subcategory sales is more than 1,06,000 is high sales, and whatever subcategory sales is less than that, it be a low sales. It will be marked as a low sales. So this is all about the parameter in calculation. This is the most important feature we are using in Tableau in order to make the visualization dynamic, because ultimately the customer who are going to use our dashboards. So this is really helpful to let the user dynamically decide, instead of the constant value, make it as a dynamic value. And let the user decide how we are, what value they are supposed to see or they want to see within the visualization. So this is all about the parameters. So let me just wind up. Today we discuss about the filters. We discuss about the external filter, data source filter, or dimension filter and measure filter. We discuss about the sets, different sets, like constant set. Constant set is like created manually, because if the value are getting changed, we cannot, the value will not getting updated automatically. So for that we have to make the computed set. The value can get updated automatically. And then finally, when we have to combine, we want to see the two values at the one time. So we have to combine both the sets together, and we can see the top 5 or bottom 5. Just an example, I'm telling you, whatever value you want to put, US according to you, but we can see in one visualization only top 5 customer or the bottom 5 customers. Then we discuss about the parameters, parameters with the filter, parameters with the filter. Go in the filter tab with the category. As the name suggests, parameter with the filter. So go in the filter with the same category where you want to apply the filter. Go on the top tab by field. Here, create a new field parameter. That's how we can create the parameter with filter, parameter with sets. Then we discuss, and then we discuss the parameter within the calculation. Parameter within the calculation is little tricky. First, we have to create the calculated field. Then we have to create a parameter, and then we have to use that calculated field within the parameter so that our the condition gets satisfied, because we cannot give any condition inside the parameter only. For normal conditions, we can use the filter parameter or the set parameter, but for the calculated field parameter, we have to make one calculated field first, then the parameter, and we have to put that calculated field into the parameter in order to make the value dynamic. So that was all about for today. So let me know if you have any confusion, or I'm sure I've discussed so many topics here today, but these topics are very important. If you will go through the video, or you want to go to further research on some topic, you can most welcome to go on some YouTube video, and just at least the term will be not new for you. So you can go and further research and just practice with this sample data, superset data. It's totally awesome data. You can work upon it, and you just save that file so that you can further, anytime you can want to see what you have done, you can rename your file. Like I can rename, this is the parameter with calculation, so that I know what is this workbook is all about. Okay. So that's how you can save your file and you can open it anytime and you can work upon it. You can practice again and again. So let me tell you one how I did practice. I keep that file saved like this, and then I started practicing on the other. I opened the application on the other window and just going backward and forward and just keep practicing, and just like that only. I just did practice. So this is all about this. If you have any question, please ask me, or we are good to go otherwise. Thank you so much for your time. And if you have any doubt, please feel free to ask me.
Thank you so much, Samyaji. Thank you for your time. It's really interesting, but maybe when we practice, we'll get to know more.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, these things are a little confusing because the first time it looks same. For me, it happens because I was like, what is the use of the filter, parameters, and sets? But believe me, these all are different and they all have a different use. Once you will go back and forth and see, you can find the difference easily.
Yes, you're right. But
Just
yeah, but they
focus.
are very interesting actually. Yeah.
Focus more on the filters and the parameters because we are using that a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Okay. So is that okay? We can leave the meeting, or if you have any.
Thank you, Samina.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
To practice actually.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a
Bye,
good night. Have a good
everyone.
weekend, everyone. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.